How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is currently running its relatively big spring sale right now. Now, remember that this is a sale that encompasses 4 weeks. We're about to hit the 2-week mark, and at the 2-week mark, there should be some new deals cycling in, as a lot of the deals that are available right now will actually cycle out of the sale come April the 14th, and I'll make mention in this video which of these deals that I mentioned will be expiring on the 14th. Some are on the 14th, some are lasting the whole way through until the 28th, which is the conclusion of this sale, but nevertheless, want to look at 10 deals that I have yet to mention. A variety of different price ranges. Some are under $10, some are well over $10, and let's start off with one of those. Red Dead Redemption 2 is 60% off for $24. You know, I can complain all day about the game not having a PlayStation 5 upgrade, because boy oh boy, how much would I love that. This game on a high-end PC is fantastic, and I would love to see it get an upgrade on PS5. I'm sure it'll happen at some point. I'm sure it won't be a free upgrade, but yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is still excellent if you have a PS4 or if you have a PS5. It's just such a fantastic game with a lot of content, and yes, we can all meme on Red Dead Online till we're blue in the face, but Red Dead Redemption 2 single-player component, the narrative, the content, visuals, character development, all of those elements are so strong. Sound direction as well, and for $24, it's a bargain of a deal. That deal will be expiring on the 14th, so jump on that ASAP if you're interested. Next up, we have Mafia the Trilogy, 50% off for $30. Now, Mafia 1 Remastered is on sale standalone for $20, so if you think of it as a $20 value, this trilogy is a really good value option, as you get Mafia 1, you get Mafia 2, and Mafia 3, the definitive edition of all 3 of those games. Now, let's go through all 3 of the titles. Mafia 1 I thought was really good, Mafia 2 I thought was really, really good, and Mafia 3 was the game that was a bit of a disappointment to me, but Mafia 3 suffered a victim to my same issue that, you know, potentially hampered my enjoyment of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. It's just, I enjoyed the previous game so much. Like, I loved Mafia 2. That Mafia 3, the idea of taking Mafia, dropping it into an open world, I just got really excited by that. And honestly, the open world probably hampered the game more than it helped it, but overall, it's still a pretty decent game. Mafia 2 is excellent, Mafia 1's really good, $30 for all 3. I think it's a good pickup. Value here, I think, is solid. And, yeah, 3 games for $30. This one is ending on April 14th as well, so jump on it as soon as possible. Next up, we have Yakuza Like a Dragon, 50% off for $29.99. You know, Yakuza Like a Dragon, obviously quite a bit different than the other Yakuza titles. You can jump right into Like a Dragon and have a good time with it. It is a turn-based RPG, but it still has a lot of the zany and wacky elements that Yakuza is known and honestly loved for, and I would never want Yakuza to remove that, honestly. Like a Dragon definitely has quite a bit of gameplay, so if you're looking to do everything in the game, it's going to take you quite a while, so be prepared for that. And again, the zaniness is absolutely there. When you're summoning enemy crabs, giant enemy crabs, as a wise man once said at Sony's E3 conference that one year, but yeah, nonetheless, $30 for this. Quite a good deal. This one has been holding up in price for quite a while, so, you know, would I like to see it cheaper? Absolutely. I think it came out back in 2020, right? Yeah. So, still a pretty decent price given all the content you're getting, also ending on April 14th. Next up, we have Crysis Remastered Trilogy, which is 35% off for $32.49. Now, I'm kind of hesitant to recommend this at this price point. This is a steep price point, and I imagine this game is going to get cheaper and cheaper. So, if you're not that eager to play the Crysis games right now, hold off. You could probably get it a little cheaper. However, this is still a pretty solid trilogy. Crysis 1 and 2, I think, are very good games. Crysis 2 in particular, like, I really enjoyed Crysis 2. I know Crysis 1 has the more open levels, and a lot of people look at that game as their favorite. And honestly, a lot of that game got popular based on its visuals, but Crysis 1 is also a pretty damn good game. Crysis 2, obviously, more of a linear, straightforward game, but very good in its own right. Crysis 3, again, didn't enjoy it as much, but just like Mafia 3, still a pretty decent game. $32.49, I think a pretty good pickup for all 3 of those titles, but again, I foresee this getting cheaper and cheaper, so if you can wait a little while, I would imagine this is going to hit $19.99 by the end of the year. Maybe I'm wrong on that, we'll see. Next up, we have Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle, 45% off for $33. I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this, given that Attack on Titan Shingeki no Kyojin seems to be in the news cycle right now with the final season part 2 just wrapping up. Yeah, figure that one out. But part 3 will be coming next year, and hopefully that will be the conclusion of the anime series. Obviously, the manga has been long finished, but Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle includes the base game as well as the expansion. This includes the stories from season 1 to 3 of the anime, and it's actually a pretty decent Musou style game. Like, they get the movement elements right. When they initially said they were going to do an Attack on Titan game, I was really hesitant of getting excited for it, given that, yes, I'm a fan of AOT, but how are they going to pull it off? And they pull it off fairly well. The only drawback here is you don't have the Hiroyuki Sawano soundtrack, and yes, that does hurt quite a bit because AOT's soundtrack, chef's kiss. But yeah, you can mute the game and just load up a YouTube 1-hour loop of the AOT soundtrack, and then the experience is golden. I kid on that one somewhat, but 33 bucks for it is pretty good, and if you look at the physical price of this game, like to get a hard copy of the game, absolutely disgusting. So yes, $33 might also look expensive, but this game holds up in price digitally, and it really holds up in price physically. Hell, it's well above the $60 initial price point, so 33 bucks, not a bad pickup, especially, again, this is for fans of AOT. If you're a fan, you'll probably enjoy it quite a bit. Next up, we have Tales of Arise, 40% off for $36. One of my favorite JRPGs, probably over the last decade, and my favorite Tales of game of all time. Maybe, like, either this or Abyss, but Abyss came out, like, in 06, so that game hasn't aged all too well. Rise, more of a modern game. Excellent story, excellent cast of characters, solid gameplay, gorgeous visuals, really good story. I can go on and on. Tales of Arise, I thought, really hits a lot of points and does it really, really well. And at $36, yeah, it's pretty pricey, but it came out last September, so it's relatively recent, and it's a game with a wealth of content. If you're looking to do everything, if you're looking to get the Platinum Trophy, that's going to take you quite a while, and even if you rush through the game, it's going to be a pretty satisfying experience. And again, I thought it had one of the better endings out of a JRPG, you know, a good 1-2 punch of your main characters and a good supporting cast. $36, I think, is a perfectly reasonable price for this game. You can get it a little bit cheaper physically, but even physically, it is holding up in price as well. You're going to be hard-pressed to find this game sub $30 even, you know, 7 months after release, but it's a high-quality game and highly recommended. Next up, we have Resident Evil Village for 50% off for 30 bucks. Resident Evil Village was one of my favorite games of 2021. I thought it was a tremendous, tremendous survival horror action title. Obviously, a little bit on the shorter side. That's just to be expected with the Resident Evil games, but this is one that I literally played back-to-back, like, twice right away. It's not like I played it once, took a break, and then played it again like a few months later. No, back-to-back, I enjoyed the game so much that I went through it twice, and I thought it was a fantastic game. Strong narrative here, really creates a great ambiance, visually is stunning on PlayStation 5, runs really well, and at $30, I think it's a fairly good price. Yeah, again, it's on the shorter side. You know, maybe wait for it to get a little bit cheaper, and physically I think you can find it for $19.99, but 30 bucks, I think, for a game at this quality level, I think it's well worth it. Next up, Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. They're $9.99 a pop. I think most people would recommend X Legacy Collection 1 over 2. 2 kind of falters towards the end. X6, X7 aren't the greatest. X8 I thought was pretty good. Even X6 I thought was okay, but X5 and X8 are really good. X Legacy Collection Part 1, this includes X1 through 4. I still am very strong on the fact I feel like X Maverick Hunter, Maverick Hunter X, excuse me, should be in this game. That's the remake that was released on PSP. I think that would make this collection just superb. Unfortunately, it's not included, but $9.99 for X1 through 4 I still think is a solid deal. X4 was one of the very first games I ever played, like growing up when I was like 5 or 6 years old on the PlayStation 1. So obviously I have a little bit of a nostalgia towards Mega Man X as a franchise, but I just think they're solid action platformers as well. You know, to me, the games are timeless. X1, 2, 3, maybe they show their age a little bit visually, but again, to me, they're timeless, and if you like action platformers, I think you'll enjoy the X titles as well. $9.99 a pop, and again, if you played them back in the day and have that and harbor the same kind of nostalgia I do, even better, you'll enjoy it from that end as well. Next up, we have Until Dawn, which is 50% off for $9.99. Until Dawn, I mean, if you haven't heard of it, it's a very choice-driven, cheesy horror title. Really a throwback to a lot of cheesy horror movies, but this is a game you can gather like a group of friends and just play through the game together and have a really good time with it. You know, much like I recommend in the Quantic Dream style of games, this is a game that you could, yeah, it's a single-player game, but everybody can just get together and have a good time seeing how the story unfolds. Has a bit of replayability. $9.99 I think is a perfect price. Maybe that initial $60 was a little bit expensive, but at this point we're what, 7-8 years removed from the initial release of the game. It is also available with PlayStation Now, so if you want to play it that way, that is an option as well, but $9.99 I think is a pretty good pickup if you want a more narrative-driven horror title here. Lastly, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is 80% off for $8. Surprised I didn't mention this in our under $10 video, because I love me some Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I know Need for Speed at this stage of the game kinda, you know, sometimes it's a good one, sometimes it's a not so great one, but Hot Pursuit was the one, really the last one that I got super invested into. I liked Heat as well, don't get me wrong, but Hot Pursuit was a really enjoyable arcade racer in my opinion. I just had a great time with it. It's a game that, you know, has a lot of chaos. Yeah, the remaster isn't, like, amazing or anything like that, but fundamentally, the game was a great release originally, and at $8, I think it's a good pickup. $40 initially, that was a little bit expensive, but at $8, this is definitely worthwhile. Also available through EA Play if you would prefer to play it that way. But that is going to do it for me. Again, feel like I went through quite a few deals with part 1 of this sale. Again, new deals should be cycling in on the 14th, or maybe even tomorrow. I don't know exactly how they do it, but, yeah, jump on those. We'll check them out when they do go live. But, yeah, a lot of great deals here. Links to all of them in the description box below. My apologies on my voice. I'm still recovering from this cold. You know, you guys know how the world is. Sometimes we get this little cold that a lot of people have been getting, and it's not the most fun thing in the world. Thankfully, I'm doing all right now, but I'll talk to you guys soon. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, links to everything in the description box below. And goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.